topic is integrating AI service into MERN stack. So, in today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, artificial intelligence, which is AI, like playing a huge important role in our various industries, right? Okay, so integrating AI services into web application can significantly enhance the capacity and offers new possibilities for the user interaction and the experience as well. So I try to make this webinar in two parts. First one is like I will try to give you a basic overview of MERN stack, and on the second part, I'll give you one coding example or to how to use how to use the AI services on your application. So before embarking our journey to the MERN stack, let's see some of the prerequisite. So first one is HTML. So HTML is like the skeleton of a website. It's set up the structure, like where things need to be go on a page. And CSS, this is like all about make and look of a good website. It adds the color, style, and making everything looks very pretty. And JavaScript, it's a language, so which will communicate with all of these technologies in MERN, and it's give you the ability to cooperate with multiple technologies. Okay, and also we need to know the database. So like how we all know like database is a key. Database, how to handle the data so computer can easily find it and use it. So now let's dive into the MERN. What is MERN? Well, it's not actually a word of like it's putting together. It's like the four powerful key technologies that makes things and building web pages a lot easier and quicker approach. Let's break it down. So AIM is stand for MongoDB. It's like a smart document keeper for our data, making it super easy to store and manage like information. And E is stands for Express. So Express is a framework of Node.js, and R stands for React. So this is a cool library. So we can see interactive user interface with the help of React.js. And End stand for Node. So Node is like a big boss. It's power the entire web server to understand the JavaScript really well and help everything run very smoothly. So now let's understand what MERN isn't just a random word. It's actually a full stack application. So we can build the application, web application or the mobile application a lot easier and quicker and efficient way. So picture this, like we are having three main parts of building a web app: the front end, the back end, and the database. So in the front end, we can see uh, what user is actually see, and its contains like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or any CSS frameworks like Bootstrap. And on the backend part, it stays the Node.js and also the server component, and it actually the behind the scene of all of this logic. And another thing is the database. So and the database, with the help of JavaScript and JSON, we actually communicate. So JSON is JavaScript object notation. So JSON is a way to organize and exchange the data. Okay, so MERN basically follows three-tier architecture to build the entire website. So with the help of JavaScript and JSON, and to making the MERN super flexible and powerful. It's like building a Lego masterpieces. Okay, all of these pieces are fit together perfectly and making the web application comes to the life. Okay, so this is the three-tier architecture. So on the web part, you will see the React. On the server, we can see Express and Node.js. And on the database part, we will see the MongoDB. Okay, so the MongoDB, right? Let's talk about like two main different type of database. First one is relational database, and second one is document database. So in relational database, uh, it contains the database, and also it has the table. And tables are like you can call a spreadsheet with row and column, and each row is an entry or a record, and the indexing is helping us to find that specific record. And in the MongoDB document database, it's also started with database too, but instead of table, it has the collection. And collections are like folders which contains of documents, and documents holds all the data that can be found in JSON format. Okay, or like JSON like structure. And indexing is also there in the MongoDB, and it making the search throughout the entire documentation efficiently. So this is the key difference between the traditional or the relational database and the MongoDB, or you can say the document database. So why MongoDB? So like MongoDB is super fast. So when you dealing with extensive amount of indexing document, it actually easy to search with MongoDB. And it's also scalable. Like for maintaining lots of data, MongoDB can split it like in a very short way and give us like the way we actually need. And also the main thing is why use MongoDB, because it's behind the scene, it's you can use the MongoDB with the help of JavaScript. It understands the language of JavaScript, which is a huge advantage, right? Especially when working with MERN stack, it's like speaking the same language. You don't have to switch between another language for connecting to the database. Also, another feature, it's schemaless. Like unlike traditional database, Mongo doesn't force to force us to put any structure. You can store different type of data in a separate document, which is like pretty cool. And also, uh, it stores the data in the JSON format, which I already told you earlier. So it's very easy to work with this JSON structure. And for setup, MongoDB is not that much hard to set up and complex in terms of configuration the database with our application. Okay, now next come into the Node.js. So the creator of Node.js, who is Randall, he has one quote, which is, you can never understand everything, but you should push yourself to understand the system. So that is one of his quote, one of my favorite quote. So he created the Node.js in 2009, and before that, JavaScript only runs in the browser. So what he actually did, he just separated the Chrome's V8 engine and do his magic and with like C++ and creating the Node.js. And so after like putting the Node.js outside the browser, now we can run the JavaScript in the server. And also it is free and open source. And one of the key feature is like it is single threaded. So Node.js runs as a single thread, means it handles the task in a super efficient way. It doesn't like get stuck where things need to be happen. And for its like non-blocking system. And also it has follows the asynchronous programming style. So Node.js isn't just running about JavaScript on the server. It's about efficiency, speed, and being open playground for the developers to create some truly remarkable stuff. So let's see like what is the best case and like when we use Node.js and when we not use Node.js. So if it comes to backend services and API, so Node.js is rocking over here. Like come to building backend services and API, it's like very easy to create with Node.js. Okay, and it's also like scalable. If you building apps that needs to handle a lot of data in real time update, Node.js is helper over here. It's great to scaling up and meeting these demands. Also, it is IO centric. So IO means like it's input and output bound application. Okay, think this app dealing with file system or network, it manages this task smoothly. And one of another advantage is like single page application. For single page application, these speed and efficiency is actually mattering. So Node.js fits the right in. It helps managing the backend for the single page experience. Where not to use Node.js, so Node.js might not be the best case to like where the CPU centric application, or like where you need a lot of computational power, like working with heavy numbers or complex mathematical operation, Node.js focus more on like handling input and output based operation, ex- like rather than CPU intensive heavy tasks. So like Node.js helps us in many areas, especially for handling IO bound tasks. So real time application, it might not be the right choice for application which are like CPU heavy. So Express is like supporting hero of a Node.js. Like it's a flexible framework. It's offering a wide range of powerful feature for both web and mobile application. It's flexible and helps to make development smooth. So one of the feature is like routing. So with Express, the routing is very easy. It helps to direct require based HTTP method like get, push, patch, delete. So those requests is like we can, with the help of routing method, we can get this thing very easily. And there is another method which is middleware. So that is another coolest feature. Express lets us to do the certain things with the middleware feature. Like once we are getting any request, and before serving that request, we have to uh, do certain things. We have to introduce the middleware. And also it has dynamic HTML rendering capacity. So Express is making it possible to dynamically create HTML pages by passing some arguments on the template, like customizing the page in the fly based on what actually it need, given personalized touch for a web content. And last is React.js. So it's like JavaScript based library for frontend, and like React is a super cool JavaScript library. So for building the user interface, and also for single page application, one of its main feature. So like you have to put some content based on the condition. You can do it with the help of React.js. And also there is another key feature of React is uh, reusable component. So reusable components are something like you don't have to put everything, like for showing any content which is repetitive, you can make this thing as a component. And those component you can call on many times. So it actually like code efficient. You don't have to put all of the code like repetitively. So it actually helps us to like maintain the solid dry principle, like don't repeat your code. Okay, so how actually React work? So if you see, React actually maintaining a virtual DOM, so which is actually a blueprint, you can say, of a main DOM, because the main DOM operation on a main DOM is actually expensive. If you imagine on this picture, if any component, like on the right side, there is a DOM tree. If any component is changed, so reloading the entire site, for showing that change, we have to reload the entire thing before the virtual DOM concept. So it is actually like every time we have to get through those data from the server, and React actually solve this problem. So it actually keep a track which component is changing, and based on that change, he actually print that specific component on the virtual DOM. So this is how actually React work. This is the overall concept of MERN. So basically it is actually very tough to putting everything under like in a short amount of time, because MERN is a huge thing. So I just tries to cover as much as possible and try to in like basic idea how these things are actually working. And now you will understand like how actually MongoDB, Express, Node, and React actually comes together to make a website. Okay, so our another topic is like using the AI services. Okay, while JavaScripts are actually empowers the creating interactive website, but there is some limitations, because like the machine learning or artificial intelligence models like JavaScript is not optimized for heavily computing tasks. Like we see this thing on our Node.js slide. So it is very good for IO-centric tasks. But AI services we can actually utilize with our MERN application, and we can actually engrave the power of those services throughout our application. So we will see one example of Hugging Face. So these are the some common like AI services currently top ranking. So OpenAI, we all know OpenAI. It is actually creating the GPT-3 model. It's a text generation model, and it helps us to generate and translate text and like powerful any like documentation type of thing. And there is another thing which is Hugging Face. So exploring in Hugging Face, there are lots of model. We can actually utilize those models, and we can make our app like more robust with Hugging Face. And there is another library which is TensorFlow. So it's actually learns like runs the machine learning models directly in the browser. You can do with TensorFlow. And there is another thing which is Mongoose AI. So it's a Mongoose plugin for designing and integrating various AI services. So within our MongoDB models. And there is another which is BrainFlow. So it's operate actually open source library, and especially crafting building brain computers interacting using TypeScript. So you can go on those specific site and look their services, what they are actually provided, and you can implement what actually you need to implement on your web service based on your needs. So now I will go on the second part, which I will enable one services. Let me share my code. Okay, so our planning is to build and enable one AI services with the help of Hugging Face. And okay, so there is a Hugging Face library, and it has also support the JS. So we will enable the Hugging Face library, and over here we have the documentation of, if you go on the Hugging Face documentation, you see there is a documentation where how you can integrate the Hugging Face documentation. So first we have to like I have created this folder, and over here it is the index.js, and I just put the .env file, and over here there is the Hugging Face API. So I just don't want to show my API key, that's why I just put it under the env. So let's enable my project over here. Maybe we need to. Okay, so as you can see, I have created the package JSON file. So now I will install the Hugging Face interface. You will get this data from the Hugging Face documentation. So this is how you can install the Hugging Face. And the reason behind choosing Hugging Face over OpenAI, because it's free. And on OpenAI, you actually need to pay for the API. Like for the first email, you don't actually need to pay. It give you some sort of access, and after that you need to pay. But Hugging Face is totally free. You just have to log in with your Gmail, and over there under your profile you can see the access token, and you just have to put that access token on your .env file, and you just have to connect. Okay, so after calling initializing the Hugging Face, I also have to enable the .env. Okay, so now .env is configured. So the problem of this in webinar screen, I am not able to show you the another screen. I just have to show. Is it like, are you able to visit my screen, or it is only the Yogan? Can you confirm? Like only you can see my VS Code, or you can see another screen?
We can see VS Code only.
Oh, that is the problem, because with like I can share only one screen at a time. But let me stop my screen and share the Hugging Face documentation, because it will be helping everyone who joined. Okay, so this is the access token. So once you create the profile, so under your profile, you have to go your profile, and after going your profile, you have to go on the access token. So under the access token, this is the access token. So this access token I just copied and put it on my .env file. Okay. And now we can see if I go for Hugging Face JS. Okay, so this is the Hugging Face JS library. And over here, you can using of interface API. So you see, I have installed that Hugging Face interface on my uh, index.js file. And after that, I will just import that Hugging Face and create one instance of that Hugging Face. And after that, there is a, okay, so there's a thing which is models. So over here, you can see lots of model. Okay, so text to image, image to text, image to video, or text to video. So those all are free model. So let me choose one model for you for demonstrating purpose. I will choose one image to text, and I will sort this thing based on like most downloadable. So like this model, okay. So this is like most downloadable model for last month. Okay, so that model you can go deep and understand like how this thing is working. So basically, I'm telling you in a short what exactly it do. If you give a URL of any image, or if you put a link of that image, that in a response you will get what that image actually is. So this is the image, and with that image we are getting a large jet line sitting on a top on airport, right? Okay, so like how can we use this kind of model in our application? Like once you are building any web application, uh, like adding alter text on an image, like it always give me a pain. So we can use this help with this model. So once I upload the image, so I just only provide the image, and in a response it actually give me the alter text. So it could be a alter text. So in alter text it is giving me the description what actually is in the image. And if you say another example like football match, see, this is over here a soccer player kicking a soccer ball. So this is the example. So yeah, this could be a very good image alter tag. So I'm trying to give you the demo how I enable this Hugging Face in my model. Okay, and this is the model I'm using. And let me go back on the, this is the problem. I just have to share only one screen at a time. Okay, so the key feature is I will just initialize the uh, Hugging Face interface. After that, I will make the import of that Hugging Face, and we'll create one instance. And then after that, I have to, as I said, I have selected the topic. The model which I use is image to text. So let's search for image to text. So image to text. Okay, so image to text is taking this parameter is data and model. So in the data parameter, I have to provide the image, and it could be like taking the image from the API or the like internal file. And also we have to select which model we are choosing. So as I have shown, I have choosing that model. So whatever model you have choose, that is the option you will get. So and if we store this in a variable, we will in a result we will get this thing done. So let's go on a coding part again. I have to share again my VS Code screen. Okay, so first I will import. Okay, let me copy it from the Hugging Face. Okay, so this is the Hugging Face. Sorry, it is not taking it from. Okay, I have to copy from the for npm. So this is for the npm package. Okay, now also I have enabled .env for my API key. So I have to import the . So I enabled the .env, importing the .env. Okay. Now I have to configure the .env, right? So .env.config. So this enable to configure the .env. Now I have to like call Hugging Face API key. So I'm creating one variable for Hugging Face API. Okay, so it will .env. So that is my API key. Okay, and we have to call the interface. We have to create an instance of that interface. So let's create that interface. This Hugging Face interface of, and within that interface parameter, I just have to put that Hugging Face API key. Why it is giving me error? Okay. Okay, I have never read. Okay. And also we have to define the model. So whichever model we have choose. So I've choose the most downloaded model from the Hugging Face, which is this one. Okay. And also we have to take one image URL. So this is one image URL what I found from Google. Okay. Now I have to fetch the image URL. And I have to create a blob. So and in response I will get the blob. Okay, now I have to take the result. So create one variable for the result. Interface, and we have enabled image to text, right? Image, image to text. Okay, it will take two parameter. First one is image blob, and second one is, okay, let make it into for easy understanding. First one is the data. So for the data, we are giving that image blob. I'm following the same structure what is on the documentation. Okay, and the model is our model. Right. Okay. And I have to, let's console log the result, right? Okay, but I don't know why it is showing the interface as error. Let's run the model. It's a typing mistake. Okay. Okay, if I have, okay. Okay. This is not from npm Hugging Face, it's directly from Hugging Face. Okay, since cannot use import statement. Okay, this is because of my JSON. So I have to follow the module pattern. So type equal to module. Let's see. Image to text model. Interface image to text. Okay, maybe I make some mistake. Image to text. Okay, there is a mistake. Image to text. So it need to be proper based on the model name. Okay, now it is generating the text, a motorcycle parked in front of a brick building. Let me share which image I have chosen. Okay, let me copy that and share the screen again. And share a screen, that image link over here. So that is the image link what I have chosen. And it is actually giving me like proper response in my result variable. So yeah, we can do certain things with the helping of those AI services. We can interact, we can build, and we can call those models. And the reason behind showing this Hugging Face, like it's free, and you can, like, we don't have to pay anything for taking the help of those models. We just have to go through the documentation, and it actually gives us like how we can configure the another models over here. And Hugging Face. And it's worked very much well with JavaScript libraries. So those are the model name, and you see image to text, right? Okay, and let me go on the model part. This is image to text, and I have sorting on the most downloaded. Yeah. So, and this is the link of that model, which I have implemented on the model name. So you just have to copy this model name, and whatever model you want to use, you just have to copy that model name from here. And also we have to get, once we're creating the instance, we need to create like which interface we are using. So we are using image to text interface. Okay, so that is all from my side.